Welcome back to Module 5. And in this module, we're going to be talking about the tools that you will need in order to place your adverts and direct your potential subscribers to your lead magnet and activate them into your autoresponders so that you can send messages. Now, before I start talking about the individual tools, and one of the tools that we're going to be using is a WordPress website. A WordPress website is a tool that is good for most small businesses, but if you're a very big professional website, you may need something better than a WordPress. But right now, I'm guessing that most of us can use WordPress website. Now, one of the reasons I want to use a WordPress website is because it's self-hosted. And what that means is that you control it. So you have a host, which I'll talk about a little bit later, and you buy a domain, which I'll also discuss later, and then you install your WordPress website on the domain that's on the host. And it might sound complicated if you've never done it before, but it's actually quite simple. And although I won't be showing you how to set that all up in this training program, there are hundreds of videos that you can look at that will show you how to do it. And if you do need help, we can actually help you set it up in a done-for-you service, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So a WordPress website, self-hosted WordPress. The reason you want one of these is because, as I just said, it's self-hosted. You control it. I've seen many Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook channels who build these huge groups, and then for some reason they get shut down. Imagine being an Instagram influencer and you've got 1 million or 2 million people on your channel, and then for some reason your channel gets hacked, shut down, or you just lose it for whatever reason. Maybe Instagram decide they don't like you anymore, and someone's made a complaint and it gets shut down, and you've just lost access to all of those 1 million, 2 million people. You now have no way of communicating with them in any way. And let's just say your channel is doing, $20,000 a day. Tomorrow you got no income. So you do not want to house and host your groups on third-party channels without having some way of putting it onto your WordPress website. So if you do have a WordPress website, you may have been told to go and put all your social media icons on the website so that when people visit your site, that they can go and visit your Facebook group as well, and your YouTube group, and your whatever group. I'm going to recommend you remove all of those. So go to your website, if you have one already, go to your WordPress website and remove all of your social media icons and any links to your social media, because you're using it the wrong way round. And this is a shift in mindset. And we're going to use it a little bit differently than people tell you traditionally, because you've got to go back to the root reason of why you're doing this. Why are you advertising in Infinity Traffic Boost? Why are you advertising on Leads Leap, Hungry for Hits, Viral Mailer for You, Free Advertising for You, and the List Building Club, and anywhere else that you're advertising? Why are you posting on social media about your product and your skills and your tools and your whatever it is, your products and your services? What's the whole reason behind it? The reason behind it is you want to sell product. And the best way to do this is on your website for a very special reason. One I've already mentioned, and that is that you control it. So when you buy your host, you pay a yearly subscription, and if you continue paying the subscription, they won't cancel it. And if for any reason that host gets shut down, you can actually transfer your website to another host. It's fairly simple. In fact, your new host will do it. So, and you can also back up your whole website and shift it with plugins. So it's actually quite secure, because as long as you pay on a yearly basis or a monthly basis, your site will stay up. And as long as you pay for your domain, which is normally monthly, and it's a very small monthly fee, then there should be no reason why you don't own your domain and website. As long as you make those two payments, you own your website and you can control your website. However, if you've got a million people on Facebook and Facebook get a complaint, or you get hacked, or your channel just gets shut down for whatever reason, the fact checkers decide that you're no good anymore, whatever the reason might be, you get shut down, you have no control over that. And you can go and appeal all you want and shout and stomp your feet and jump up and down and scream and say it's not fair. And of course, it's not fair. You've done all that work, but it's goodbye, hasta la vista to your list. So on your WordPress site, you can control everything. Number two, why do you have a WordPress website? Well, it goes back to the same reason. You want to sell a product or a service. Normally, not everybody does. Some people just do it for the, they just love helping people, and it's an information site or whatever. But I'm talking to you guys who want to make money right now. We're all part of this group. We're all part of the training for one specific reason. We want to make money. And the way you make money is by selling. The best way to sell is, in my opinion, this way. So you place an advert in the 6 places that we're talking about here, our famous 6 for this program. And you can place adverts anywhere you want. But I'm focusing on these 6 right now. And let's say you've got all your social media going, and you've got YouTube videos, and you've got Facebook posts, and it's all about your stuff. You want to send people to your website. When they get to your website, you only want them to do one thing, and one thing only, and that is subscribe. You want their name and their email address. And when they come to your website, let's say someone sees your Facebook post and goes, oh, this is interesting, I want to know more about it. And they come to your website from Facebook to your website. When they're on your post and they're really interested, you do not want to check out my YouTube videos here, because now they leave your website and go back to YouTube and you've lost your customer. 99% of the people will not return because they go down the YouTube rabbit hole, because YouTube only want one thing. They want your customer on their website. And as they're watching your video, towards the end of it, they'll put up another one saying, do you want to watch this? It'll be about a similar subject. And then 3 hours, 4 hours later, they're still watching videos and they've forgotten all about you. So remove all your social media icons from all of your posts, all your pages, your front page, everywhere on your site. Remove it all. And I know you might go, no, I cannot. That's not what I've been told to do. Remember, your reason for having your website is to keep people on your website because you want to sell to them. In the same way that Facebook want all your people on Facebook, and all YouTube want all your people on YouTube, because they make money out of it. If you follow the giants, follow the money, you'll learn a lot. So that's what they want, and that's what you should be doing. So I hope you get this, because it's super, super important. Now, once your guest is on your website, they saw your advert Infinity Traffic Boost, which said, learn how to make $100 a day. They go, yep, I want that. They click on the little advert. It takes them to your website, and it should take them to a page or a post where you talk about how to make $100 a day on traffic exchanges. And then they're given an opportunity to put their name and email address into a little box that is provided by your autoresponder. So this is another tool that we will talk about a bit later on. And what your autoresponder does is it sends a series of messages to them about your product. Now let's just talk a little bit about your autoresponder. If you say, I'm going to send you 7 emails about Bitcoin, the only thing you can do by law is send them 7 emails about Bitcoin. You can't send them 8. You can't send them about altcoins, because when they signed up, you said you're going to send 7 emails about Bitcoin. So make sure that when you set up your autoresponder, it's not so specific that it locks you in and you can't go outside of those parameters. So what I would do, for example, is it says, it sends them a little message and it says, dear subscriber, something like this. Dear subscriber, you just subscribed to my newsletter, which is going to be about blah, blah, blah. Please click the link here to subscribe. It's a double opt-in. They click it. They confirm their subscription. So in that little email, you want to put something about, I'm going to send you tips, newsletters, articles, posts, blogs, ebooks about cryptocurrencies and everything associated with it on a daily basis. And then you've covered yourself. And if they sign up to something about cats, don't send them things about dogs. If they sign about dogs, don't send them about tigers. Don't send them about Bitcoin. Don't say, oh, well, you're one of my subscribers, so I found this really good tool and I'm going to send you it, because it's not what they agreed to and it's not agreeable under law. So you're going to need a host, first of all. You're going to need a domain. Secondly, you're going to need the WordPress site, which you put on the host, and you're going to need an autoresponder. And I'm going to talk about all of these things, but I'm not going to show you exactly how to set them all up, because that's a whole program just by itself. And there's thousands and thousands of emails, thousands of videos on YouTube that will show you how to do it for free. But if you absolutely don't want to do it and you need help, we have a done for you service, where we can help you. We can actually set it all up for you. And of course, there's a cost for our time and set it up, but we'll set it up. It's yours. You still control it. You still own it and everything, but we'll set it up for you so that if you're at work and you don't have 6 hours a day to do it, we can do it for you. So if you're interested in that service, let me know. Okay, so that's basically the mindset and beginnings and behind what we're all doing. And in the next few videos, I'm going to talk about the hosting, the domain, and the WordPress site. And then I'm going to talk about the autoresponder, where to put your lead magnet. You should have already created a lead magnet by now in the early program, the early modules. We did that. So you should have that already. And it's all going to start to come together now, because in the next module, I believe, if I remember, we're going to start actually advertising. And that's when all of the work that you've done so far will all come together. Now, you're on module 5. If you're listening to this video, I want to congratulate you, first of all, because you're awesome. Most people will never, ever, ever, ever hear this video, because most people give up on module 1. They probably do like 2 or 3 videos of module 1, and then that's it. They go, oh, this is too much work. Hey, running a business is a lot of work. And if you think being an entrepreneur is not a lot of work, you are living on a different planet, because it is. You are the entrepreneur. You're doing everything right now. You're doing all the social media, all the accounting, and all the emails, and all the business planning, and all the design, and everything. It is a lot of work. But one day, you will get to a stage where people do it for you. I remember when I first started my company, Argon Animation, I was doing everything myself. I was programming, I was installing the lasers, I was doing the ingressing, I was doing everything, and I was absolutely exhausted. And it took me about 3 years before I could afford staff, and then 6 years before I could pay all my bills. You know, one day I was like, I've got to pay my telephone bill and I've got to pay all my staff, and I don't have enough money. And then sometime later, I was like, oh, I have enough money to pay all my bills now. I still didn't have enough money for any luxuries. And then about, 7, 8 years later, I had money for luxuries and I started going on trips, and my whole life was changed. And that was 20 years ago. So if you think this is going to be overnight success and by tomorrow morning you're going to be a millionaire, you need to come back to the right universe. You're in a different dimension. This does take work. It is boring initially. Success is not sexy. It's boring. It's doing the same things over and over and over again every single day till you get where you want. And if you look back at some of the superstars, and I've hinted on this before, I'm a Formula One guy, but if you look at people like Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen and all of the other amazing drivers in history, they didn't just jump in a car and win a Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen have been driving since they were like 4 years old. And it's their lifetime. And right now you've got the Olympics going on in France while I record this. The people that are winning are not people who just decided to do it last week. It's their whole life. And not only do they devote their whole life to it, but their family does as well. And if you're an entrepreneur, you already know that. So you realize that we do work now and get paid later. We don't get paid on the 15th and the 30th like employees do. And if you're an employee, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking that at all. If that's your chosen route, fantastic. You have one. Awesome. If you're the breadwinner for your family and you've got a job, absolutely brilliant. But if you're looking for something else as well, and you're going, maybe one day I can give up my job, you can run this simultaneously. And you can set it up over a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5. So that in 5 years, or 6 years, or 10 years, or whenever you decide, you can actually quit your job, walk away from it, and this is a replacement. If you're already an entrepreneur and you're ready to do it, just know that it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And it's going to take you a long time to set this up. We're on module 5. We haven't placed an advert yet. And if you've done all the work, you know it's days and hours of work. This video training program took me a long time to put together. And I'm doing the work as I'm recording it as well. So I know how long it takes you. So there you go. I hope that's a little bit of a mind shift boost for you. It does take work, but the rewards are fantastic. I left school when I was 16 years old. My teacher wrote, "Tim will never amount to anything." Well, now I live on a beautiful island in the middle of the Philippines. I see 17 different islands in the distance. I'm married to a beautiful girl. I've got a wonderful dog. I have an awesome house. I have Jane and I own about 1.6 hectares of land between us. And we've got some amazing friends, and we're just living this idyllic place. It didn't happen overnight. It took years and years and years to get here. But boy, it's worth it now. All those tears that I shed, it's worth it. So I hope that encourages you a little bit. We're now going to move into the actual tools themselves and what tools you need. And if you've got any questions about anything I've said, any comments about anything I've said today, feel free to contact me at tim@bitcointrainingcamp.com. And I personally will get back to you and respond to it. And I look forward to hearing from you. Please make it on topic and please make it friendly. And I'll see you in the next video.